Hello, movie lovers. Welcome back to The Movie Hunter. Today, we're diving into one of the most anticipated horror sequels coming our way super soon. 28 years later, The Bone Temple, hitting theaters on January 16th, 2026. Before we dive deeper into this chilling follow-up, I'd love your support for The Movie Hunter. Please like and subscribe. It means the world to me. Thanks so much in advance for joining the hunt. Guys, if you watched 28 Years Later earlier this year like I did, you know it absolutely blew me away. I loved it. It was a proper zombie post-apocalyptic movie packed with deep meaning, real heart, and those intense rage-infected chases that get your pulse racing. Danny Boyle and Alex Garland brought back the franchise after so long, and it felt fresh but true to the originals. The way it explored survival, family, and humanity in a broken world, it had soul, you know? And that ending, wow! It set up a sequel perfectly, with young Spike heading off into the unknown mainland with this mysterious group led by Sir Jimmy Crystal. I remember that massive bone temple monument made of human bones that Dr. Kelson showed. It was so artistic, eerie, and full of symbolism. It stuck with me big time. All that meaning about death, remembrance, and what we've lost in this rage virus apocalypse. So when the title for the sequel dropped as The Bone Temple, it wasn't a surprise at all. It made total sense. What did surprise me, though, was how fast this is coming. The first one released in June 2025, and now we're getting the sequel just 7 months later in January 2026. They shot these two back-to-back, which is smart because the hype is still fresh. I didn't expect it that soon, but I'm not complaining. More of this world, please. This time, Nia DaCosta steps in as director. You might know her from Candyman or The Marvels, and she's turning the world on its head while Alex Garland writes again. It's the middle part of a planned trilogy, and early reactions are calling it brutal, intense, and even one of the greatest horror movies of the decade. People are saying it's weirder and more idiosyncratic than the first one, focusing less on the infected as the big bad and more on the terrifying inhumanity of the survivors themselves. The story picks up right where the last one left off. Young Spike, played brilliantly by Alfie Williams, gets inducted into Jimmy Crystal's gang on the mainland. Jack O'Connell is back as Sir Jimmy Crystal, this charismatic but super dangerous cult leader with his group called the Jimmies. From what we've seen in trailers, it's like a nightmare for Spike. Jimmy's crew has this quasi-medieval vibe in the post-apocalypse, with tracksuits, blonde hair, and a creepy charisma that reminds some people of real-life figures. They're violent, searching for souls to deliver to hell, and way scarier than the rage-infected in some ways. Meanwhile, Ralph Fiennes returns as Dr. Ian Kelson, that isolated scientist we met building his bone monument. In this one, he makes a shocking discovery and ends up in a new relationship that could literally change the world. Trailers hint he's experimenting more with the virus, maybe trying to cure or control the big alpha infected named Samson, played by Chi Lewis Perry. The infected are evolving, and Kelson's work dives deeper into the rage's nature. Other returning faces include Aaron Kellyman and Emma Laird in The Cult, and there's even a tease of Cillian Murphy reprising his iconic role as Jim from the original 28 Days Later, apparently in the ending to set up the third film. That's huge for longtime fans. The Bone Temple itself seems central, that artistic structure of cleaned human bones symbolizing loss, faith, or maybe a new twisted religion in this world where fear's the new faith. DaCosta has said she's making it personal and bonkers, contrasting Boyle's style, but keeping the heart and brutality. I'm really hoping this sequel lives up to the first one I loved so much. The quick release means the momentum is there, and with Garland's writing, it should have that same mix of heart, meaning, and non-stop tension. If it's as good or even pushes boundaries more with human villains and deeper lore, we're in for a treat. This is why 2026 is shaping up to be an epic year for horror and post-apocalyptic fans. 28 years later, The Bone Temple looks like it'll deliver shocks, scares, and plenty of food for thought. What do you think? Are you hyped for Jimmy's cult, Kelson's discovery, or that Bone Temple symbolism? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read them all. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, share with your fellow movie lovers, comment below what you want me to cover next, and subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss any hunts. Thanks for watching The Movie Hunter. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next one.